I remember. Yeah, they do take a little longer. Um, I'm viewing your reading with Carmi now. I've gotten halfway through it, and I was impressed that y'all were able to do that in about 30 minutes each. So
Yeah, she's a real go-getter, that woman, her.
yes, she is. And you know, when she's on camera, she is just absolutely stunning.
That's what I tease her about it. I go, that's what Terry says is you look so good on camera. I says, I'm just minced meat. I go, well, that's okay. We'll send your video because you look good. I tease her all the time. She loves it. She
Yeah,
absolutely loves it. So thank you for giving me something to tease her with.
good. You're welcome. BK, how are you doing? I bet you are swimming in a pool of molasses with all your.
Yeah, I've just, you know, just the two things, working on that grant, and then when I got my COVID vaccine a couple of weeks ago, I take anti-inflammatories and I had to go off of them. And there's no data. So they're like, go off of them as long as you can, but don't go off of them so long that you like have to go back on prednisone. And I'm like, what does that mean though? And I think between the two things, I got really, really run down. And I'm just feel like I'm trying to hold my ground. Although what you said's interesting. Like I say, I hadn't associated the physical stuff with the Mercury retrograde. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, that ends on the 8th of July. We're out of the shadow on the 8th of
Okay.
July. And honey, the hard thing about it is Sun's in Gemini, Mercury's in Gemini. Mercury is the planet of communication and expression, and so is Gemini the sign.
Hey, Myron, try muting. I think you might be making static.
No, what? That's when I'm.
It's your headset. Yeah, when you were moving around. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Got
You
it.
mean I got blamed for him last time? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I think. I don't know why. If I don't use my headset, I guess I get that.
It's
That
yeah, something about
sound.
the headset. Weird.
So now that I'm using it, you don't hear it, correct?
Right. Not
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. So if I take the headset off, then you'll hear it. So sorry.
Oh no, no problem. It gives us something to laugh about and have fun with. So, yeah, because you know, Mercury rules writing and communication and putting things in motion. I've been thinking about you. It's like, oh Lord God, send some energy to BK, all that writing and putting that stuff into motion.
Yeah, like I say, I've decided this year to just do editing and organizing, and then as soon as it's over with, I kick it back in. But things have happened, like my water heater went out. I've had like 3 major expensive things happen, and I haven't even dealt with them.
Are you Aquarius rising?
I will check. I'm Scorpio sun sign, but
Right.
I looked it up. I thought I was all Aries and Scorpio, but I looked it up and it's not. It's something different. So,
Right. Because I wonder about you being Aquarius rising. That would put Gemini in your 4th house, which is
yeah.
the house of home. That would make things happen in your home. So, anyway, my Gemini's in the 12th house, the house of karma.
Lucky you.
Yeah, anyway. Well, it's good to see you all. I've missed everybody, and it's good to be back. And my God, I cannot believe it. This is the last. This is the last section of the class. It's amazing to me. So let me go over here and screen share. Okay. And slideshow from current slide. And back at the group reading, do we need to go back and review anything about the 6-card spread? Okay. It's powerful, isn't it? The 6-card spread. Okay. All right. So we are recording and we are sharing. Tonight we're going to deal with my favorite suit, the suit of cups. I've found, one of the reasons why cups is so special to me is because it rules Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So I identify with cups very, very well. Cups are the suit of emotion, relationships, love, emotional things, spiritual things, psychological things, psychic things, philosophical things, artistic and creative energies. All of that is rolled up into the cups. So when you look at the Ace of Cups, aces being the highest aspect, so this would be the highest love card of the deck. What do you see in this card, the Ace of Cups? Anybody want to share? And I'm going to pull my other deck out so we can go through simultaneously.
So definitely see peace, the dove, but kind of angel wings.
Yes.
A hand coming out of the clouds, which is a blessing.
Uh-huh.
The sun coming out of the cup, which is happy, good.
Yep.
You see the lotus blossom.
Yep. It's blossoming and getting ready and budding at the same time. What was I going to say? Also, overflowing cup. The cup is overflowing with all that love and positivity and manifestation, glory, creation, all of it, all good stuff coming up out of that cup. Now, again, what position is that hand in?
It's in a giving or...
It's in that fist position, which means you're gonna have to work for it. This being the suit that rules love, emotions, relationships. Oh boy, that's a lot of work right there. So it's not just, it doesn't just come freely given here. There's work involved in the Ace of Cups. Go ahead.
Aces do mean like new beginnings.
Yeah. New beginnings, starting over, reset. They are the highest aspect of whatever the suit carries. And again, that hand is coming out of the clouds. So any ace, it's going to come out of the clouds. And on the 4 of cups, it comes out of the clouds. And that is always a gift from God.
And it's like there's a sun coming out of the cup there, like a new day or a new idea. In this particular card, the clouds are pretty unusual. This one, that one looks like it has a little face on it. But the other thing that's very strange is you look at the fist around the cup, and then you can see the fingernail on the other hand. So the way this person's holding this cup is very weird.
Like that, I assume. Wow, BK, that's really interesting. I never noticed that. It looks like they just got their nails done. A French manicure there. Yeah, it's kind of like they're holding the cup like this. Let me speculate on that, because you know what? The way I feel things, future energies are to the left. Past energies are to the right. So this finger pointing to the left is indicative of movements in the future. A new future, overflow of positive essence in the process of moving into future energies. Wow, that kind of fits for me. Does that fit for everybody? Judy, what are you seeing, honey? Anything special?
I just noticed how tranquil the water is.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that amazing?
It's very smooth, very calm. Like I feel like the hand is like so front and center, and the cloud surrounding it from the divine is really close. So it's closer than you think, kind of like it's like you're saying it's in the future
Yeah, and it's
because
lush.
it's so close to touching down on land.
Uh-huh. And it's lush and it's green and it's flourishing.
Mhm.
You know, the dove is the symbol of the Holy Spirit. You've got that beautiful magic coming up out of that water with that sun energy. And anywhere where you see references to the sun, you need to look in the reading somewhere for the sun and representative of happiness. I'm also drawn to the legend of the lily of the valley. In this case, it's the lotus flower. But the lily of the valley, the legend of that is that as Jesus was going to the cross and carrying his cross, Mary, the two Marys were following and they were crying. And everywhere their tears fell, up sprang lily of the valley. Well, here as the water hits the water on earth, up is springing the lotus. Isn't it interesting also how these mountains look like they're floating?
That's similar to, or somewhat similar to what I was thinking in terms of like the lotus being a flower that grows up out of the mud. It's like it has to go through a difficult journey to be able to bloom like that, just as the cup of love has to go through a difficult journey to overflow like that.
Yes, absolutely. This is my favorite card of the entire deck. I love the Ace of Cups.
Can I share a couple of things about the lotus blossom?
Please.
From so BK knows this because I found out she and I both practice the same Buddhism, which is Nichiren Buddhism. And the symbolism of the lotus blossom is, like Victoria stated, that the bloom comes out of the mucky, dirty water, symbolizing the world itself. And the lotus blossom symbolizes our inner ability to become a Buddha, or we are Buddhists. So, also that the lotus blossom blooms and seeds at the same time, symbolizing the simultaneity of cause and effect.
Mm-hmm. That's
So,
now, honey, isn't this right here? Isn't that a
that's
isn't
a
that a seed
seed.
pod?
Yeah,
When I move my little cursor around, can you all see it?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. Took me 6 classes to ask that question, but
And then I
so
also
it is
noticed that
blooming and it is seeding at the same time.
right,
And that is again a symbol of
the simultaneity of cause and effect.
mm, very cool.
And I noticed that the cup is overflowing with water. So at first I thought those were like stilts or something, and I realized it's water coming out of the cup.
Right.
Yeah.
Cup overfloweth with love and peace and positivity, tranquil energy, new essence, new life, new beginning. Ace of Cups. All right. The Ace of Cups is the highest minor arcana card of the element of water. Really, emotions, love relationships, things that are generally emotional in nature. And again, the psychological, philosophical, psychic, spiritual, clairvoyant, um, also artistic, creative, inventive. It's the highest love card of the entire deck and an opening, a new beginning of an emotional nature. I want you to encapsulate the emotion and the sensibility of Have you ever walked out the door immediately following a spring rain and the smell and the clean sense of the air? That is what I embody when I pull up the Ace of Cups. That's what it feels like to me. It's new emotional beginnings, new love, a new way of loving, opening to different types of relationships, the healing of old relationship patterns, or the release of old relationship patterns altogether. It's very strong in self-growth and self-discovery. Now, what does it mean when say loving in a new way of loving? One is somebody who's been judgmental and conditional their entire life, coming to a point of going, you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to judge it. I'm just going to love you. That's a new way of loving. Here's a good new way of loving. Somebody who just became a parent. That's a major new way of loving. Somebody who just became a grandparent. That's a new way of loving. And that goes into, new emotional understanding of the self or of others, receiving the new understanding and or the giving of understanding to others. In other words, becoming an understanding, unconditional person, like I mentioned before. This is super huge on the outpour and the flow of emotion, and it can be healing in nature. Love expressed without condition, with kindness and compassion. Opening to the expression of spiritual love and the reception of giving of love from source. In other words, opening to the expression of spirit, opening to the expression of spirituality. New birth, almost like the baptism of the Holy Spirit, activated in spirituality, is the Ace of Cups. Anybody feel that there's something that might need to be, in this deck, if you'll notice, there's water coming out of there. You can barely see them. See those little dots? Those are those yods. Those are those elusive yods that we keep seeing. And that's that Hebrew letter that it's this, I believe it's the smallest of all the Hebrew letters. And every Hebrew letter at some angle contains a yod. So it's life force, it's living water, it's in everything. And source is in everything. So not only do we have this water falling out of the cup, but we have yods falling out as well, which is, life force, spirit force, source, energy, in the aspect of emotion. That's a powerful symbol. Oh, I hate to reverse it. Oh, darn it. Now I've got that thing going on where everybody's moving all over the place again. How did I get through the first few classes without that happening? Okay. When this card is reversed, it does not mean that love is not available or flowing, but there's not the ability to allow its flow and flourish. So now we're dealing with somebody, or now we're dealing with an emotional block. We're dealing with a block to love, the inability to, darn it. Okay, this is really annoying. Sorry, guys. I gotta figure this thing out. Okay, so it's not that there isn't love and the availability of love, that there is a blockage or cut off from love and its flowing. I had I'll give you an example. I had a beautiful session with a man today who came to me from Norway, and he's German birth, and he reached out to me. He saw my videos online, and if I start crying in the middle of this, it's very emotionally touching to me. You guys, his parents utilized a medium and a clairvoyant to control this man his entire childhood. And he has dreams and aspirations of being a pilot and flying and doing things like taking paraplegics and putting them in gliders and pulling them through the air and letting them experience weightlessness and giving them an experience that they could never have any other way. And his parents hired this clairvoyant, this medium, to continually tell him, there's only one path for you, and you must be an educator, and anything else that you ever do will fail. And his parents have done everything that they can do to set him up as a failure. And today we did a reading with him, and in the last 2 sessions, he's talked about feeling the cage around his heart. Well, today we did an exercise where we released the cage around his heart. And I saw him click into the Ace of Cups, just like that. He went from Ace of Cups reverse to Ace of Cups upright, just like that. I watched him light up. And he is the most beautiful, kind, sweet, spiritual man. It's just amazing. I can't express it in words. You'd have to see it and witness it. But he is a pilot. He got his pilot's license. He's flown all over British Columbia and all over New Zealand and all over the world. Now he's living in Norway. And he's working on getting his pilot's license. Releasing that cage, releasing that energy. There were 8 things that he has accomplished in the last 10 days. Since we did that exercise. Major things. Like Norway's real big on, hey, if you don't speak Norwegian, sorry. He can understand Norwegian. He has to speak Norwegian with a blend of German and English. But he wants to fly, and they want everything in Norwegian. So he actually reached out and went to a meeting at a local airport, and he's going to start volunteering. And all of these people were totally loving, totally receptive, totally open to the process of him doing this process. So I needed to give you that so that you could get the full effect of Ace of Cups upright, Ace of Cups reversed. The reversed is that caged heart. So remind me after break, and I will look it up. He sent me a poem today that he wrote. I've asked him if I could use it as one of my spirit messages on my YouTube channel and reference him, give him the praise and the credit for it, because it's such a beautiful message. So it doesn't mean that the love is not flowing. It means that it's blocked or there's something making it askew. If you turn it all upside down, of course, the dove's doing a nosedive and all the water's running backwards. So something's moving against gravity. Something's moving against nature. Ace of Cups reverse is conditional love. And selfishness, in the worst cases, narcissism. This Ace of Cups reverse would represent this fellow's parents, controlling, creating blockage. Probably knowing that they're doing so. Blocked and wounded, need for control, emotionally disconnected, fearful, frustrated, manipulative, playing games with the hearts of others, insensitive, unkind, uncaring, and unable to feel. Anything else anybody else feels about this? Okay. rather than move you all around, which, okay, I tried to do the move to the next slide with the little arrow buttons, and that don't work either. So does anybody know if there's a way where I can put you guys, I've got you in gallery and you're coming down in a strip on my screen. Does anybody know how I can put you at the top of my screen going across? Let me see here.
I think if you click the view button on top.
Okay, see, I don't even have a view button.
If you do that, hit standard and they'll all move to the top.
Do what, honey?
If you can find the view button and there's options standard, side-by-side speaker, side-by-side gallery. If you
On
hit
the
standard,
top
everyone
right.
moves to the top.
Okay, I don't even get any options at this point.
Try dragging see if there's a top to the toolbar of the pictures and try dragging them up there. I'm gonna have to pull my Mac out to see.
If you put your cursor in the top right hand corner, does that view button come up?
Okay, I put you all on a grid and I think that's gonna work. That was intense, trying to get that to go where I need it to go. But we did it. Take that, Mercury. Two of Cups. What do you see? And this is the Rider-Waite version. There's a little bit more present there. Any comments on the Two of Cups?
I noticed that, like, it's not like the two humans are smiling at each other. It's like they're looking deep into each other. Like, it's more than just physical appreciation. It's like a mental connection.
Yes. And it's pretty intense, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think all this mess is back here?
Like dark clouds.
Yeah. What do you think that means?
Like the turbulent emotions of what's under the surface.
Right? Is
Or
it
it-
past, present, or future?
I feel like it could be in the past, and it's like that's why they're so intense, because they've been through a lot, they've worked through it. They might not see eye to eye, but they're in it together, and they're not afraid to deal with the challenges.
Right. Every time I turn this card over, I literally hear, "At last, my love has come along." They've come out of that darkness and all that cloudedness, trying to find their way. Turbulent emotion, mystery, difficulty, frustration, trying, and poof, it's landed. And there is balance. There's balance of give and take in this card, and excellence in communication. I love it also because she's got a blue sleeve. He's got a green shirt, blue and green. Green is part of blue. Green comes out of blue. So I like that. It shows, and there's also a little splotch of purple down here. Almost looks like a feather or something might be there. We've got the wreath on her hair, which is a sign of wealth and stability. And he got loving on his mind because he's got a red headband on. So there's passion, mental connection. She's got red hair. He's got a red band. There's mental connection. There's passion connection. And it looks like they're doing that hand thing, you know, the lovers drinking thing. Okay, the formation and creation of new relationship or relationships. This could be meeting and connecting with one person or a group of people. Excellent, excellent possibilities in loving communication. The healing of present relationship situations is possible through deep, sincere communication and work. Better times, not times, better times are ahead. It's the balance of love and emotions, the balance of mind and emotions. There's a definite balance of give and take in a friendship or relationship. This doesn't have to be romantic. It can be romantic, it can be a friendship, it can be a mother and father, or a relationship between a mother and a child, a father and a child, a brother and sister. It can be any type of relationship. It can be a business relationship. I kind of get the sense, based on our previous readings together, I kind of get a sense that this might be one of the good energies that represents Marilyn's boss. Not the female, not the daughter, the male boss. He's very give and take, complimentary, validating of everyone.
He loves everybody.
Caring, kind, communicative, understanding, sharing, open-hearted relationships. These people are really open-hearted, and they are most likely seeing eye to eye. They've come to terms. The Smoky in the back, that was not seeing eye to eye. Now they're lining up pretty solid. This card indicates important discussions and communications may be at hand, bringing possibilities of healing. And I love it. It's the balance of passion and spiritual love intertwined. That's the image that's here with this. Especially this medical symbol here, that intertwining of the snakes. But that also represents the healing properties of this card on relationships. It also brings that Leo essence into the card. So if we're looking at time periods, and that really stands out at you, that could be the third week of July to the third week of August. Also brings about the aspect of Leo, the lion-hearted, because Leos can either be really loving and lion-hearted, or they can be really jerky and kind of narcissistic and arrogant. Two classes. When they are kind and loving, oh my God, they are kind and loving. My mother and my sister both are Leo lion-hearted. Any other concepts or discussion on the two? Anybody see anything else that we need to bring up? Okay. Next. For the most part, the reversal of these minor arcana are pretty much the opposite. Very few exceptions to that rule. I can't even think of one at this point. There's one that we're going to do tonight. I can't remember which one. It might be the 6 or the 8, where it's like, okay, it's like this in the upright. And then when you go into the reverse, it's like, oh, well, it maybe hasn't quite happened yet. There's still more work to do. But reverse of the 2 of Cups is pretty much the opposite. And instead of there being a flourishing in relationships, there's difficulty in relationships, serious breakdown in communication, and obstruction of true feelings. We go back into the smoke, everybody. And you know, the thing that I realize is when we're in the smoke, nobody can see what the other is feeling or contributing to the relationship. There's disagreements, arguments, not seeing eye to eye, you refusal or inability to see or understand another person's perspective. There's selfishness, manipulation, power struggle. This really kind of sums it up. The honeymoon is over. Let the games begin. There's loss of balance, resulting in the breakdown in emotions, creating resentment, selfishness, potential rejection of the self or the other, being rejected in friendship or with a lover, either one. Loss of balance in the give and take of friendship and love relationships. Anything else anybody needs to say about that card? Okay.
Is anybody else hearing static again?
Not now.
Okay.
Okay. Three of Cups. What do you see, guys? I love this cup. I love this card. Here it is in the Rider-Waite. Now there's static again. Okay, now there's not. So this is what it looks like in the Rider-Waite.
Look like a celebration.
Woohoo! Celebration. What do you think it's about? What do you think the celebration is about?
Coming together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a pumpkin down there. So that would give me a fall sense, right?
Fall sense. It's a card of harvest.
Okay.
There's grapes, there's pumpkins, there's citrus, there's all kinds of produce on the vine.
Well, and in this deck, it's interesting that they're looking at you.
Yes, they are, aren't they?
Yeah, and so it's something like the celebration, it's like the connection, the friendship, the support. And I agree, like the fruits down there and the cups look like they're not full yet, like they're waiting to celebrate. It's about to happen.
Mm-hmm. Good read, BK. That's excellent, sweetheart. And everybody's got flowers in their hair. Everybody's dressed to the nines. You can see that they're wearing their really fancy togas. We've got hues of orange and red and mauve, rose colored. Everyone's got their hair done. Everyone has their makeup done. Their eyes all stand out and they are looking straight at you. There's also all this flourishing energy up here in the background, and look at that lovely light blue background, peace and tranquility. This is a positive celebration. Also, everything's sitting on the table, which is stable. Where do we see that reference of that table with everything sitting on it? Magician.
Could it? Oh,
Go ahead.
could it also be a card of working together, possibly because now they're enjoying the fruits of their labor?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, there's teamwork. This card also specifically comes to bless women Well, when we get into it, it's a female essence card. And so when they're representing all of these women on this card, it's things that would be emotionally sensitive to women or the milestones of life. Woohoo, girl, I got a boyfriend. Oh, I'm getting married. Oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, baby shower. Oh, birth of a child. A graduation from college. I got my first job. Milestones is something that is also, that's down in here somewhere, but milestones is something that this card represents. There's a deck that I had, and I cannot remember what it was to save the life of me. But on the 3 of Cups, it was 3 women, and they had a cup in one hand and a stick in the other. And they're all holding, they're like this, and their sticks. So they've got a cup in this hand, a stick in this hand. So here's the stick, and then this woman takes a hold of the stick, and in the other hand, she has a cup, and their sticks are all, they're holding their sticks, and each one of them has a hold of the stick, making that connection that you're describing, Victoria. That teamwork, that female connection. I think it was the Witches Tarot or the Wiccan Tarot or something like that. Something to do with Wicca or witch's deck. So there's strong connection. There is teamwork. This is the card of nurtured growth. And that's why it's the essence of the feminine, because the female essence, the mother essence, the nurturing behind the growth. Growth and positive outcome in love and emotional matters. The give and take in relationship has created a great opening for more and even more love, understanding, fortitude, foresight, movement forward. This card is very strong in its meanings around major milestones. About that witch's deck, the aspect in that, you all, was something also that's passed down generation after generation after generation after generation. Engagements, marriages, conceptions, births, graduations, restorations of health, promotions, new jobs, emotional achievements, anything that would bring delight to a happy family. Harvesting the fruits of the family's labor. Something that one has achieved is good for the whole. It's a card of promise that shows achievement and growth in the endeavors of emotional relationship aspects all around you, having found that right person who completes you or is about to. You've either met or are about to meet. The person has completed you or is about to complete you.
So with the 3 also means communication. So how would communications play into this card?
It's positive communication. Everybody's working in sync. Again, think of that cup thing. Everybody's holding on to a stick that is held by somebody else, creating the connection, creating the communication. The other thing in this, I mean, in the 2, remember we had all the smoke in the background. Girl, there ain't no smoke here. It's clear skies, bright, sunny, tranquil waters, tranquil skies, clear air. There's no secrets. Nothing is held. Nobody's backbiting or, hey, did you see what she was wearing? There's none of that present in this card.
Plus, a lot of these milestones come with like actual in-person celebrations. So the communication that comes with being together again, probably like a reunion card.
Yeah, reunion is an excellent, reunion and unity is excellent wording. And all of those engagements, all of those milestones, those are periods of empowerment of one another. There's something that everyone shares in. I mean, me and my brother do not get along. But the day that his wife gave birth to their child, I sobbed. I was so happy. My brother and I, we do not have any relationship whatsoever. But the day he gave birth, the day they gave birth to a child, it was very emotional and moving for me. Yeah. The day that he had a second child and the first child was going, let's take him home, let's take him home, let's take him home. That made me cry because it was so adorable and so sweet to see her so excited about finally having a brother. So does that answer your question, Marilyn, honey?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Another very, very happy card. And then we got to reverse it. It all falls unfavorable. Unfavorable endings, shortcomings, loss, lack of drive or follow through, having dropped the ball in emotional or relationship pursuits or pursuits involving family, friends, or loved ones. One of the aspects around Three of Cups reversed is too much, too fast. Burnout. You ever entered a relationship and, oh my God, it was just all sparks and fireworks, and then it didn't go very far. That's an aspect of the Three of Cups reversed. There's loss of sincerity, boredom in relationships, and insecurity. Also, another aspect of Three of Cups reversed is not being able to see or experience what you truly have. It's like situation is, and then as soon as you end it and move from it, you realize what you had before. You wish you would have realized what you had before you got rid of it. That sort of thing.
Sort of like an obscurity or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, or there's some block in you that doesn't allow you to be intimate or open emotionally or what have you, and then and maybe you perceive somebody to be a certain way that you feel is unfavorable, and you blow it off, get it out of your life, and then you realize, oh wow, wish I woulda, wish I might. I've had a few of those situations in my life. I still ponder them from time to time. The other thing about the cups, guys, is cups energy. This is stuff that really kind of lasts a lifetime. These are the cups is also memory. It's grounded in memory. I mean, opportunities come and go in the suit of wands. Money comes and goes in the suit of pentacles. But love stuff, how many of you remember the first love of your life? Everybody. How many of you remember your mother, your father, your brother, your friends, family? You'll always, these are cards that involve memory and process throughout entire lifetimes. With the cups, when you reverse them, there's also the propensity for addiction, escapism, alcohol, drugs, lust, sex, anything that's going to
Workaholic.
bring you off balance. Workaholic. Yeah. So overindulgence in food, drugs, sex, alcohol, overspending, frivolity that leads relationship and family to discord and or poor health mentally or physically. Reverse, this can be where there's sincerity and truth and clarity in the upright. See, it's all clouded. The cups are all in the way, and all this clothing is in the way. It's obscurity. There could be affairs, unfaithful relationship activity, lying, being cautious and be cautious in making any predictions about affairs. I try really hard not to go there. I usually don't go any further than it's possible. unless I am absolutely dead on sure. And it takes more than one card to make me sure. Difficulty in making achievements, broken engagements, quitting school, miscarriage. That's another meaning of the Three of Cups reversed. Miscarriage, loss of a child, death of a child, broken engagement, quitting school, loss of job, a promotion that's passed through your fingers. Anything that it was in the upright, you can reverse it and make it the opposite in the reversed. Okay. And if there's overeating, they've eaten way more than that fruit. The fruit must have been the dessert, the last course. Okay. 4 of Cups. Here's what it looks like. In the Rider-Waite. He's sitting on his pillow meditating. Remember how we've talked about the 4s? The 4s all carry this tone of reset, reevaluate, reboot, recoup, and rest. And that's what we've got here. In this aspect, it's the emotional aspect. Check this out. Look how this looks like fire season in California. Smoky, cloudy, unsure. And out of that is, I mean, where we had it before in the Ace, it was coming out of a clear sky with big white, clear, puffy clouds. These clouds are brown. So there's some sense of obscurity. In the Rider-Waite, it is a clear sky with a puffy cloud.
The cloud is gray.
Yeah, it's gray. Whereas on the Ace, on the Ace, it's gray anyway, and I think that's just for emphasis. But it's like the cloud is, the hand is coming out of this brown cloud saying, here you go. Here's some rest. Here's some relief. And y'all notice, check it out, that finger is in that same position. It's pointing to the left, which left to me is future. When I was in massage school, I went to a massage school that's holistic and energetic in its curriculum. And we had to do an exercise where we had to sit and we had to feel what is future, what is past, what direction it is. And some people, future was right or forward. For me, it's always left, past is always right. And I think that's probably because that's how I learned the Celtic cross is left is future, right is past. But when I see that finger, like BK pointed out, I see that as moving forward into the future. So it's like giving a gift saying, okay, here you go, take this and this will help you move forward. And guys, what do you think? Now look at this. He's looking to the right. He's looking at the past. What in the blazes is all that? He looks like he's been sitting there for 20 years and the ivy has come in and just grown all over top of him. What on earth can that represent? Any ideas?
He's been sitting there thinking too long.
Overwhelmed. overwhelm. I have tried, this card kind of represented me earlier this week. So everything has been, I've achieved and I've made it, but everything has again been 6 times, having to do everything 6 times over. I'm tired, I'm frustrated. I hear my achievements. I can see that the cups are filled. There's still more to do, but I need a break. I need to sit back. I need to reevaluate. I need to realign. I need to rest and figure things out. I need a break.
I had
And
totally 2 different reads on the 2 cards. Sorry, go on.
What, honey?
I was just gonna say I had 2 different reads on the 2 different cards on the Rider Waite versus that, but I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry, go on.
Oh, it's okay. So that greenery is, I mean, it's flourishing, and he's made achievements because that green is good. The hill is flourishing. Everything is good, but it's all become too much. I got to step away. Now, Judy, tell us, what are your 2 different reads on the 2 cards? And that's perfectly normal and natural. Each deck is going to read slightly different.
So like on the Morgan Greer, I see the 3 cups in the front and center are full, but I see him looking straight ahead at the empty cup coming from the divine. So it's like you have all of these opportunities, but you're looking at something that you have to work more towards to fill that cup. But he's totally ignoring the opportunities that are there, because he's not even acknowledging them, but they're so clear and present. And then when I look at the Rider Waite, I see him looking at the 3 cups and debating about that. And then in from the divine comes an answer that's he's not even thinking about. So there's a solution, there's something coming around that it hasn't occurred to him yet. So it's like he needs to stop focusing on what is right in front of him and think outside the box. So it's like totally different for me, because the focus in the cards is different on the vibe.
And if you look at the expression on his face, that dude is wore out and he is stressed. And he is. He's looking at the 3 cups going, "Whoo, God, how in the hell did I do that? Oof, that was a trip. Oh, but I achieved it. I achieved it. I achieved it. I achieved it. I did achieve it."
Well, even
And
his
here-
arms are crossed like I'm so done.
Right? That's exactly right.
Or like, I
Now-
have all this accomplishment, but why do I not feel satisfied?
Right. And I want to point out, all right, you all, if he is facing in the Morgan Greer, if he's facing this cup, this is his right-hand side. This is past. This is what he has created, past tense. This is what's coming forward. And it's like, okay, I have another job for you. Here's the next step. Aren't they fascinating? And that's why I say this will be a process of lifelong unfoldment for you. These cards are going to evolve over time, and their meanings are going to continue to expand forever for you. Okay. And I just realized, oh my God, that is really Ivy. Now, let's talk about that. Victoria, I want to validate what you said, because the energy in this card is stagnation emotionally. Can't make a decision, indecisiveness, can't figure out what I want, what is best. And stagnation, if something sits still, if we were to leave if everybody were to move out of where I live and be gone, and there'd be no traffic, no nothing for 20 years, I'd be completely covered in ivy, because it's all around me. And ivy will it'll cover trees, it'll kill trees, it'll cover them and drown them out. So let's look at the actual meanings. This is how I say it. What is it that you desire? What is it that you want? A gift is coming forth on a golden platter. Be alert, be vigilant, or it could pass you by. That's one of the things, when I draw the Four of Cups, that is what I say to people. So what is it that you want? How do you want it to be? Ask for it and allow it to be present in your life. The person being read, or the person the person or situation in question has become complacent and has retreated from life and emotional drama. A review of one's achievements and successes stabilize for future growth. It can stabilize, or it can become it's become a fixation and needs to stabilize for future growth. Withdraw and reset. Like the other four, stability wants to be created, and this time rest, recovery, shielding oneself from emotional issues may play one's cards close to the chest, shielding oneself from emotional expression. I need a break. Having been in a circumstance of not being able to see the forest for the trees, the seeker has withdrawn, goes into the cocoon for future transformation. Did
That's
somebody want to say
reflected
something?
by the ivy, right? Being covered by the ivy, being overtaken by the ivy. That
Yeah.
kind of.
Yep. There's that ivy again.
Sorry to interrupt.
And this one, I think I had to expand. I had to create new slides today because some of them require a lot more definition. New ideas are on the horizon with the cup coming out of the clouds, and the seeker has required a time of deep contemplation, reset, recovery, and meditative console. There is the luxury of having the time to allow oneself to mend and reset. Let me give you a good example on the Four of Cups, and this just hit me like a ton of bricks. Once upon a time, I had a client in the city. Was working a job where she hated. She loved the industry that she was in, and she loved the work that she was doing. She could not stand the company, and she absolutely despised her boss, who was evil, manipulative, calculating, and a user. You never knew what this woman was going to do. There was nothing you could do to please her, and she was standing in my client's way any way she possibly could. My client was at an absolute point of desperation, and the Four of Cups came. She was the job, the mental issues had actually started to create, and this is one of the meanings of the cards, by the way, it had started to create physical illness in her body. Pull over the Four of Cups, and Spirit hits me right in the heart like a ton of bricks and says, tell her to go to the doctor and to get temporary disability. She did. She got it. She got it for like 18 months. And my darling, that's what I mean when it says, oh, you have the luxury of sitting back and resetting and allowing yourself to mend and reset. You've got the ability to do so. Enjoy it. Take the time that you need. Dream it big. Make it, fix it all around it so that it can be perfect. But when I turned over that Four of Cups, wham, tell her to go to the doctor and ask for emotional disability. She did, got it. And had it for 18 months. The last 3 months that she had it, she found a new job. She was able to go in, quit, go off of disability, and go on to the new job. And she loves it, and she's thriving. This is also the clarification, allowing the smoke to settle, allowing the clarification of future movements forward. What's next? And you know what? I do think that cloud is smoke from a fire because it's consuming the mentality of the questioner or the person or situation involved. I just listen to the little voices in my head and they tell me things. It's the cultivation of new ideas and pursuits. I like to call it the resetting of one's GPS. Creating a plan of action for forward pursuits, having rebalanced. This is also, any of the fours are really kind of, we'll see this strongly in the Four of Swords and mostly in the Four of Swords. But fours are recovery and they can all represent health. Going within to clear blocks to one's ability to allow receptivity to what is desired. Greatness is at hand. Do the work to receive it. Talking about that block to one's ability to allow receptivity, I had a guy today. He called me the other day. He's got another psychic friend. Psychic friend has never met me, but he saw my video on YouTube and he says, you know, I really think that you need to reach out to this Terry Yoder guy. I think he might be the one that's really going to be able to help you and give you the validation on what I'm telling you. So he called me to see if I was going to say the same thing that the other guy said. Without a hitch, I said exactly the same thing the other guy said. The guy's an accountant. He lives in Los Angeles. He doesn't want to be an accountant, but he is an accountant. He's grateful for the job that he's got as an accountant, but he really wants to be an actor. Everyone has told him he's from India. Many, many years ago, when he was 9, 10 years old, this old Indian man wandered into the store that his father operated and said, I have a message for you. You need to be an actor. So he asked me, am I supposed to be an actor? I said, yes, you are. He drew, oh, guys, you wouldn't believe this. On being an actor, Hierophant, followed by the Emperor, followed by the Empress. Yeah, I think he's scheduled to be an actor. And where I'm going with this is the blocks to the ability to allow receptivity, because his block on receptivity is how is it going to happen? How am I going to find an agent? How am I going to get jobs? How can this happen? That's the block to his receptivity. And no matter what I said, no matter what I did, he kept coming back to the how block. My response, sir, you're only allowed to focus on the what you want. If you're focusing on the want, you can focus on the what and put that in the hands of God. But as soon as you go into how, when, where, or why, you've taken it back into your hands, and it's up to you to create it at your power. I'd rather plug into an infinite universe. So I think I got that through, but I wanted to express that as a clarity on the block to one's ability to allow receptivity. So it's funny, all the cards that I did today and reviewed and worked on the slides and that sort of thing to make it fresh, every single appointment that I did today pulled out those cards. If they weren't falling literally on the table, they were popping into mind's eye. Okay. All righty. When we reverse it, time to get to work. The seeker has made it through a time of reestablishing the self, desires, and a plan of attack. Okay, here's that card. Where we were in the process of molting, now we have new life. It is present. We're rested. We're recuperated. And now we've moved into the future. Coming back into the world, allowing oneself to express emotions, wants, and desires again. Pursuits are in action. Anything that I'm saying about any of these cards can apply to relationships, ideas, projects, processes.
Viruses.
Yeah.
This,
Oh, yeah.
this,
There-
this reminds me of the COVID. It's done. I mean, it's not done, but
We're kind of in a Four of Cups reversed energy on COVID. I'll claim that.
Can I ask if the rider weight sort of looks to me a little bit like in the upright position looks like the guy maybe is disinterested. Maybe this is a bigger question regarding other cards, but I've been wondering if the querent is asking about love and the person they're asking about is just not interested, possibly the querent is not on their mind at all. I kind of wonder what cards would maybe come out for that, because it seems like I haven't really been able to identify anything that's just like neutrality and disinterest, and this is the closest I can kind of come up with for that. But I know it can also be read as like maybe, you know, the other things that we were just going over, or like rejecting the cup of love, you know what I mean?
Well, honey, it could be several of the reversed, probably not the four. I think four upright would be more in tune with I'm not ready, I'm not interested, I'm not looking in that direction, I'm taking a break, I'm stepping back. Another good representation of the Four of Cups in regards to relationships is somebody's just gone through a divorce and they need to heal. Somebody's just gone through a breakup and they need to heal. Or they're just not ready for a relationship.
Okay.
This would be one of the best representations for that, Victoria, because there's that blockage or separation, stepping out of the emotional world and kind of hermiting oneself.
Okay. So I guess maybe a lot of it is going to have to do with the intuitive read, because I'm sure we've all been on one side or the other of an experience where just unrequited love, where the other person is just not interested at all, or the querent is not on their radar at all. And so it's not even necessarily a matter of healing, or, you know, because so many of these cards can be read as like there is some emotional connection, but like, what if there just isn't? And I guess I'm
Well, I can give you a couple of examples.
Okay.
Knight of Swords. He stands in front of the Tower of Destruction. Tower of Destruction, oh no, I wouldn't say there's any interest, and if there is, it's not in your best interest. A lot of the swords energies, those would be no's. Any card that falls as a no and a yes, no question, you just say, is he interested? Plop it down. Let's see. Well, you know what? This is the other one I was going to reference, and we're going to be getting to this one in a little bit. But, you know, is he interested? Is he interested in me in a relationship? 8 of Cups. That's the get the hell out of Dodge card. I'd say he's on the run, Sparky. Off in another direction. Is he into me? Is he into me and interested in a relationship? Magician. Oh, yes. Is he interested in me in a relationship? King of Cups. Oh, yes. Is he interested in me in a relationship? 4 of Pentacles. Blockage. Obscurity. Nope, he's not. First thing I see is the wall. Sorry, didn't mean to flip everybody off. I'll use this finger moving forward. Sorry, guys. I'm feeling frisky tonight, and it's lovely to see you all. Do you get my idea?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Turn that into a yes, no question, and there your problem is resolved.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Cover it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've heard the 4 of Pentacles also described as wanting to hold on to something. So yeah, I feel like that one, for me at least, I would need to cover it too.
So with the 4 of Pentacles wanting to hold on to something, Victoria, he may not be interested, but there may be something he's wanting to get out of you.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See the depth and intricacy in all of these little gems that we've got in front of us. So in the 4 of Cups reversed, relationships are transforming to a place of betterment, security, and strong and brutally honest review. Whereas before, it's like, oh, I need a break. I need space. There's a good energy for the Four of Cups upright in relationships. I need space. New understanding of relationships, romantic, friendships, parent, child, relationships of all sorts are now seen with much more clarity and from a new and more positive point of view. Inner changes have brought improvement to life. So in this one, the Four of Upright it's not negative, it's just a time of retreat. Think of it as he's sitting there in the Rider Waite, he's sitting there in a yoga pose. He's gone to a yoga retreat. And now he's come out of the retreat and it's reversed, and now he can absorb the fruits that he has achieved through the process of having gone within. Okay. Does anyone need a break? No? Okay.
Do you need a break?
No, I will in a few minutes. We'll get through the five. Five of Cups, probably even better described in this card. Five of Cups. What do you see, guys?
It almost looks like blood is spilled out of those cups, and there's just such deep, deep sorrow.
There's what?
Deep, deep sorrow. Almost like blood is spilled out of those cups. It was just like emotional carnage, kind of.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, look at this. Look at this sky. I mean, that's actually beautiful artwork there.
But not all is lost, because 3 are fallen, but you still have 2 cups.
Good perception, Myron. You go, boy. That's wonderful. I love that sky. There's such beauty in the artwork here. Look at the ruins. And if you look closely, look at that. Those dots, it looks like, literally looks like bricks are falling out of that castle. Stands on a beautiful green cliff. The water is eased. That's not rough, stormy seas. So there is peace, there is tranquility in this card.
The hillside is green.
Yeah, it's vibrant and flourishing. And then it's got this, and it's actually, look at that, there's actually a tree growing out of the top of that tower. So it's been sitting there in ruins for a while. That's a strong symbolism in this card. This is a deep card and requires a lot of focus and contemplation. Notice how his total focus is on this. See his eyes? They go right down to this. And he's got that long cape on and these 2 cups that are sitting right behind him. It is sorrowful and mournful. I think that's what Victoria said. The 5 of Cups can indicate the ending of a relationship or cycle of life, and the ending has been unhappy and difficult. It's a time for release of something very close and emotional. One book that I referenced said it's representative of a sacrifice. Letting go will hurt, but in the end, it will allow greatness to enter anew. Resistance is strong. Resistance is a strong temptation, but will only prolong the hurt and pain and block one from moving into a higher and more positive position. This is a bad pattern that I have in relationships. Oh my God, honey, when I love strong, and I held on with everything I have. It could be horrible and awful, and I'm going to hang on, and I got to make it better. I got to make it better. Got to make it better. And I'll hang on and hang on. And I finally realized when you do that, you're blocking yourself from getting exactly what you want and prolonging the hurt in the same position. Biggest, most direct message: accept the loss, mourn it, let it go, and move on. Focus on what you've achieved, which sits right here. Focus on the achievement, not on what has been lost. Focus on what you've achieved and what's left to be the building blocks of what is next to come. Failure to let go the remaining cups, that which one has built and achieved, these right here, could be spilled and lost as well. And now you got nothing. This is depression, sadness, mourning, could affect the questioner's life, work performance, sense of self, and other relationships. And this is a situation that's kind of urgent. It's a 5. We have to be careful because I say 5s are infective because they are the essence of change. If we hang on to the depression, mournful, and sadness, it affects our work performance. We could lose our job. If we lose our job, we could lose our sense of self. If we lose our sense of self, we can't be in a relationship. Boom, 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 boom. The dominoes fall.
You lose your job, your finances start getting screwed up.
Yep. There's a commercial out right now about alcoholism, and I think it's a recovery center or something like that. And the lady says, alcohol almost took my relationship, my family, and my job. There's a 5 of Cups energy. Yep.
And 5s are changes, like you said.
Yep. And you guys, in this particular position, in the upright position on this, think of those cups spilled all over the floor because he's a drunk. He done consumed way too much alcohol and he knocked him over. So drunkenness, drug addiction, escapism, codependency is all on the face of the 5 of Cups upright. I don't think it is in the reversed, because when we flip it over, the 5 of Cups is going to become woohoo, where in the upright it's ugh. Okay.
In the white array, though, they have a bridge.
Yes.
Is that like a possibility of?
Yep. New future. And if you look in the right way, what's on the other side from the bridge is a structure that is not falling to ruin. So there's new hope, possibility. And it's like, here, dude, here's the way out. If you'd stop looking down, you'd see it right to your right. I liken this to, and I laugh every time I see the image, not because it's funny, but it looks to me like a Far Side cartoon. Every time they show images from the 6th of January and you got those big fat white men hanging on the wall, climbing the wall, it's like, dude, there's a set of stairs just to your left. It does. It looks like a Far Side cartoon. Anyway, we won't get into that. But anyway, I can't get my chair to do what I need it to do. The time of sorrow has passed, and the seeker has new insights and aspirations. This can be the return of something lost in the past. It could be the return of a relationship. It could be getting an old job back. It could be, a good example would be getting laid off and then going back to work. A good example is coronavirus and everything shut down and now things are opening up. This is a 5 of, that would be an excellent card to represent where we are now. Putting things back together. New hope has been found, renewed sense of self and others. A strong sense of gratitude has come to the seeker. So sorrow, mournful, sad, depressed, gone. Thing of the past. Six of Cups. I love this card too. I love the cups. They're my very favorite. What do we see, y'all? Here it is in the rider.
Spring.
Spring, yes, those are Easter lilies. So yes, that will be the time of the year that this card would draw its highest energy.
Gifts, giving, sharing.
Oh, God, yes. Gifts, giving, sharing, receptivity, balance, back and forth, unity, harmony. We got static. Okay. Anything else, guys?
Harmony.
Harmony.
The colors of the yellow, brown, and white.
Uh-huh. What does that mean to you?
The brown's the grounding, the connection with the earth. The yellow to me is the health, and kind of the spring, the rebirth of stuff. And then I believe the white was like the universal force, the God force. And I just see now in this one that he is giving her that cup. I see his hand in there. I didn't notice that before.
Yep. And she's all like, oh, for me. And yellow is the color of attraction, drawing. It's also vibrant health and thriving. Are these adults?
They look kind of teenager-ish.
Yeah. So there's nostalgia in this. And there's the energy of childhood. Childhood memories, childhood friendships. And, you know, our younger years, they say your personality is formed by the age of 5. And it's from 5 through college that you really formulate all of your social and relationship abilities. So it really kind of represents that time period. So childlike friendship, loving harmonious relationships, excellence in communication, giving and sharing in balance and equality. This is childhood memories and reconnecting with those from our past, especially for childhood. This would represent the year in which I reconnected with 57 different people from my graduating class on Facebook. This would be me going back to my class reunion for the first time in 36 years. Happy, harmonious love relationships, family, work relationships have been restored. Remember, we had the loss in the 5. Well, now we're back in harmony in the 6. This is interesting. It's also the card for home improvement. Making investments in a home or family, building the home or building the family unit. It can be a physical structure or emotional essence or financial, monetary investments that we're putting in. Investments may be emotional or physical in nature, bringing luxury to the home or family, harmonious achievement. If this card falls near a card of movement, the Chariot, Six of Swords, Eight of Cups, it can represent a return to the place of one's childhood rearing. Okay, and we reverse it. Dwelling in the past, caught up in overthinking about one's past. It's very personal, guys. My mother was abused, battered, beaten down her entire life. She married my dad to escape, and she never got over it. She never got over the abuse. She never got over the bullying. As a matter of fact, the last 2 years of my mother's life, my mother would be up at 3 o'clock in the morning, wringing her hands. I don't understand why my teacher said that to me. I don't understand why they did that to me. Why would they pick on me? Why would they feel that way about me? My dad's like, let it go. Who cares? But my mother couldn't let it go. And that is Six of Cups reverse. That creates a major blockage in our ability to receive and give love. My mother believed that the greatest expression of love was to worry about you. That's not love at all. That's fear. Love me, Mama. Don't fear me. Don't worry. Just trust in it. Releasing the past will set you free. Time, this is also strong. Time for a purge in friendships, relationships, or work relationships. Time to make some changes. People got to go. And it's, if anyone's creating disharmony, they got to go. There's no other way around it. If there's any disharmony, any blockage, let it go. Move out of it. Letting go of old connections that have grown to hold one back. Time for this is also the release of old habits or addictions, and habits, addictions, or situations of the past. I'll put trauma in that as well, by the way.
Like childhood trauma or just trauma?
Yep. Because as I said that, somebody spoke to me and said EMDR, which is a psychological process that can actually relinquish trauma through eye movement.
Rapid eye movement, yep. REM also.
Yep. Any questions on the Six of Cups?
If you got this card like in the reverse position on health, what would that represent?
There are still issues that need to be looked at.
Okay.
On a health situation, Myron, in all honesty, to recoup that, it should represent that there is recovery because there's, well, it's the need to release. So there still should be recovery that needs to be done. You may not quite be there. You might be in a situation where you feel better than you really are, and you better rest and recoup, continue, and allow the healing to take place completely. To be absolutely clear on this particular card, I'd cover it. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
And in doubt, cover it. Okay. Can't get my cursor. Oh, this one. Oh, this card, for some reason, is kind of my nemesis. It's probably something very strong I need to learn from this card. I did a lot of study on this card today. Oof, boy, there's a lot of material on it. And I actually, for the first time in my life, sat down and studied and figured out what all these things out of these cups mean and represent. So, this is a card of overwhelm. Look at all the cloud. It's like, my God, no matter which way you go, there's clouds. Yeah, the things that are coming out of the cups are kind of clear, but right behind it is clouds. And you really don't know. This to me is the let's make a deal card. What's behind curtain number 1, 2, or 3? And it's a card of delusion, illusion, mystery.
I thought it was a card of many options.
It is. But there's so many options that it's overwhelming. You know, if it's like picking lottery numbers. Oh my God, there's 50, what is it, 52, 54, 57 of them. Oh my God, which ones am I supposed to pick? I'm gonna move right on in because this one I've got several slides on.
Harry, it's so interesting because like in the Rider-Waite, the cup that has the wreath in it actually also has like a skeleton face on the cup.
Yes.
Which is like in the Morgan Greer, it doesn't. It's like, wow.
Sorry guys, I need to look at this under the light. And see, in this weight, it doesn't. But yeah, it in the book that I read, it referenced the skull, which it's not in the Morgan Greer. It's not in the Radiant Tarot.
Yeah, it is.
Or this is Universal Weight, sorry.
It's in the Radiant.
It's not in Universal.
See right here?
Yep. Yep. So anyway, this can be the most confusing card of the entire deck, and that's because in essence, it's one aspect of what it represents. It represents confusion because there's so many options. Imagine coming up to a road and there being, that used to be the most difficult thing for me when I first moved to San Francisco, is you'd come up to an intersection and the roads would go like that. Oh my God, which way do I go? So there is confusion in this, but there's multiple aspects and multiple opportunities. One of the suggestions in this card is slow down and really take a look at what options are amiss, lest you make the wrong choice. There's so many options that one is confused, unsure of oneself, overwhelmed and indecisive due to activities and options being presented. Hold on one sec. It's a very strong need for self-contemplation. Can be a dark night of the soul. And each of these cups represents a life choice and decision. Now, the snake and the dragon both indicate jealousy and or the temptations of shortcuts could be chosen as one pathway. These based in jealousy and greed and temptations for deceiving or using others to achieve one's desires. So it's like, oh, I could step over Miss Johnson and I could get the promotion. Oh, I could set this person up and I could get the promotion. Oh, I'll go spread rumors about Jack Jones and my friends won't like him anymore. That's the dragon and the snake. Taking life by storm and achieving victory with the wreath and the skull. Falling victim to drama and a hidden persona by the mask. That's persona, not personal, persona by the mask. sex, passion, romantic pursuits, the pursuit of family and relationships, or the coming to know oneself by the head. So, that is all. I mean, relationships, family stuff, that's all good stuff. But that one is kind of split. You got any of these, you got to kind of keep them in balance, because any one, you could be, oh, victory, victory, victory. Hey, look at Napoleon. Look at Hitler, victory, victory, victory.
So this would really, if you get this card, depending on where it fell, and what fell next to it, would really more tell you what it's about.
Yes. Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you don't have that sense, then you would have to cover it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So on that face, and in the Morgan Greer, it's a woman. And that's like, woohoo, women, wine, song. That can be split. That can be lust, sex, passion, addiction to sex. It could also be, oh, a woman to settle down with, to create a family with, to create harmony with, to really express my true love for. It can represent the aspect of building a family, of bringing togetherness. So there's some of them there's multiple sides or multiple facets. That drama face, falling victim to drama or a hidden persona. Is the person really what they appear to be? The jewels is that one could choose wealth and security. I'm gonna maintain my job. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna put my nose to the grindstone, and I'm going to create a life for myself. The Fortress in this card is offering of the unlocking of one's spiritual truths and pursuits of a higher spiritual aspiration. Now, in the Rider decks, it's that ghost that's shining. That is the oddest symbolism. It's the ghost that's shining, is the representation of the connection to spiritual aspirations, unlocking one's spiritual truth. Told you this was a long one. The problem in this card is that the questioner is at a standstill and trying to make important life decisions, but there's stagnations and they're being dumbfounded by life in general. Oh my God. This is kind of like an extension on the Four of Cups. No options are being taken at this time. Blocked. Soul searching, deep inner contemplation with unlimited possibilities for changes and directions. The strong urge to listen to one's inner guidance and stable advice is being granted. Possibilities in competition in one's thoughts. Strong warning not to fall victim of fantasy or mistaken dreams. Urging to come out of the grip of illusions and unfounded thinking. Clarity and verification are required. Danger not to fall into withdrawal, over excess, addiction, drugs, alcohol, avoidance, loss in simple distractions that inhibit growth and change. Things like TV, books, depression, sleep, excessive behaviors, and overspending. Trying to fill the hole. Face one. Huh?
Denialism.
Yeah. Can be, especially if it's allowed to progress and you sit in it too long. Face what is present inwardly and make right choices for the outward world. Sit a spell. Come on in and sit a spell, as the Beverly Hillbillies used to say. Sit a spell, contemplate. Nobody says you need to make a choice today, but you know, tomorrow or the next day would be a good idea. The Seven of Cups, this is a light example of it, but have you ever been offered a job and you have to really think, oh, I can't decide whether, what if I do, what if I don't, what pros and cons, and you do all the writing down and all. That's the Seven of Cups. And then we reverse it. Very simple. Opposite of what it is upright. The questioners made their choices and followed through and in pursuit of their goals. All's been worked out, movements being taken, crisis is averted. Enjoying one's dreams, dreams come true. If falling on a choice or decision, what has been considered is a right choice and a correct plan of action. So if someone says, oh, did I make the right decision about taking this new job? And we flip the Seven of Cups reverse, yeah, it's the right choice. If it falls in the, if they ask that question and the Seven of Cups falls upright, what would we say? This is a good question. Does anybody know, or does anybody have an idea? What would we say if someone said, I took this job and I don't know if I made the right choice, and this is the card that fell?
If it fell in reverse or upright?
Upright.
I plead the fifth. Can you say that?
Huh?
Can you say I plead the fifth?
Yeah, this is a really hard question I've posed to you, because this is not an easy card to interpret.
So would you say that they had many options and they might have like maybe not really considered all the options to the job and all the facts of the job, and that they might be a little bit of denialism in the fact or the choice that they made, that maybe they didn't really weigh all the options when taking this job?
That's probably true, but the decision's already been made, so that's not really useful information.
Well, I think they made the right decision. That would be, even if it fell upright, I'd say, yeah, you made the right decision. And it was probably an overwhelming choice. But I think you made the right decision because you had a lot of options and this is the one you selected. You were able to narrow it down and make a choice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a good answer. There's more. Myron, you take a stab at it.
I would kind of say the same thing as BK, meaning you had, you know, you were probably faced with a lot of choices, and the decision that you chose, I don't know what else I would say.
Okay. Victoria, anything else? Nope. Okay. That's a good answer. Adding to that is, watch your back. Because if you're looking at it and okay, they've made the choice, they're in the situation in present, and all these things exist. All the things that we listed are probably in existence in this job around the person. There may be that person who, woohoo, I'm going after victory and I'm going to get it no matter what. Those people could cause you problems. There's the lust and the temptation and the people who would walk all over you.
The snake in the grass, or the snake.
Right. So that's the only other piece that I would add to it. I think I would go with, yeah, I think you made the right job, but I think that you need to be really
Cognizant of the people.
cognizant of the people around you and just cautious and cautious until you really get grounded and know everyone in all the decisions and what you say. Whew, that took a little
Yeah,
bit.
this is a pretty heavy card. It's a heavy card, right?
It is a very heavy card. Yep. And I kind of go, every time it falls because it's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's like being on LSD, and I've never been on LSD, but it's kind of a trip. So, guys, let's take a break.
Okay.
5 minutes. And I'll see you back here in just a bit.
Okay.
Swear to God, every time that goes off, I think somebody's talking to me from the other side. I'm just not used to it yet. I'll flip it on in a read and go, what'd they say? Crazy. Crazy. Okay. 8 of Cups. What do you see?
Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. That's right. For some reason I lost y'all. I can't see you. I don't have any controls at all.
Oh,
Here, we still see you.
Okay, well, I can't see you, but I love you. Anyway, 8 of Cups.
Walking away.
Walking away, exit and departure, an emotional exit and departure, getting the hell out of Dodge.
Leaving everything behind.
Leaving everything behind. What else do you see? Like, okay, here's the emotions aspect.
the
But look
moon.
at this. We're in this big crevasse. But what do you see? What else is out here that's really standing out?
The blue sky. The blue water.
Yeah. Also, well, now I've
Uh,
got,
the crescent moon.
yeah, it's an eclipsed moon.
Oh, that's an eclipse.
Uh-huh. Yep, the eclipsed moon, which we're going into right now. So the red on the Little Red Riding Hood cape is that this person is passionate about their beliefs and their decisions to exit this situation. What I was getting at with the crevasse is, yeah, you've got all these cliffs, these jagged cliffs, and a body of water all around you, but there's open air and open space. Openness to new possibilities, new directions are in sight. Eclipses represent change. So it's the ending of one cycle and the beginning of a new. What do you think about the way the cups are stacked? Any ideas?
I picture it as like stable, like they're stable. They're strong. It's kind of like a house of cards, except the cups look heavy and weighted. So
Yep.
it's like a strong structure, a strong base of where you're leaving. Like maybe
Right.
you're walking away from like the top of your game to go and
Right.
find something new. Or
Yep.
it could mean like you've built something that's solid and steady and will be there for you when you come back from your journey.
Uh-huh. Yep. Look at the solid structure here where they've put. They balance not on just one, but 2 rims.
Can
So
you
they're
share
very
your
stable.
screen with the card? I'm sorry. I only am looking at my Rider-Waite. I don't have the other one in front of me.
Oh, I'm
Sorry.
not sharing the screen.
No, I love looking at everybody all at once though.
Okay, something's wrong, guys. Hold on. I have no controls.
Maybe somebody else does.
Hold on. Something is going on here and it's driving me crazy. I don't know what to do about this. I literally don't have any controls.
If you move your cursor down to the bottom, do they appear?
No, nothing appears.
And can you go to minimizing your screen at all?
Okay, I've found a way to do it. I have to completely stop sharing, which I have. And now I'm going to go back and share. Well, wait a minute. That's not what I wanted to do. Screen share and I got to move everybody, which I cannot do again. Okay, just did. And play from current slide. Now, can you see it? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Here I thought I was sharing and it was all perfect, but no. Now I lost somebody. I lost BK. Is BK still with us? Is BK still with us?
I just see a black screen for BK.
Oh, I see her. So maybe she's frozen.
Frozen.
I can see her.
But she's frozen. Wave, BK. She's frozen. There she goes.
Ah,
Oh, now she's gone. Come back.
and my people, you all just changed. And I've lost my gallery view again. I almost said a bad word in Spanish. I can't do that.
And I know what it was.
Did it rhyme with chimichanga?
Uh-huh.
I went and got a shot. I'm waiting for BK to come back. I went and got a shot in my shoulder, and that word come out of my mouth. And he goes, hey, where did a nice white boy like you learn to talk like that? I go, would you prefer it in French? It sounds better. Oh, it's funny. Anyway, I'm going to have to probably move you guys back and forth the rest of the meeting because I've lost options. This is crazy. Okay, 8 of Cups. Let's move into this. Hopefully, well, I've lost Victoria now too.
Oh, no, she's there.
Huh. I don't see her.
Victoria.
I see Victoria. I don't see BK though.
BK hasn't come back to us yet.
Oh, okay.
Victoria, are you still there?
I am here. I think maybe it's because only 5 of these little pictures can fit maybe, but also, yeah, we're missing BK, I guess.
Okay. I hate to go on without her, but we will have the recording. If someone could send BK a message and ask her to please say something when she comes back. And 1 second, Phoebe, hey, leave it alone. I got a bird on my deck and she's about ready to go through the screen.
Oh.
So this is emotional exit and departure from aspects that have lost their sense of fulfillment. Current emotional entanglements and material gain, mundane aspects of life have lost their sense of fulfillment, which has sent the seeker to exit in search of the expansion of the soul for that which does bring empowerment and fulfillment at a much deeper level. It's like, you know what? This don't work for me anymore. I have got to go find something new. The cups are stacked so perfectly, but there is a gap, and that indicates that something's missing. The stacked cups are indicative of how hard this person has worked and that their work has been meticulous and focused. At this point, however, the focus has shifted from what appeared to be important to what is important. And it's, guys, This goes to an absolute soul level.
Could this be your accountant becoming an actor?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to require some shift or change for him, though. So there'd be some kind of an exit or a departure in that process. So, like, this would be more probably kind of like more specific, honey. If he were to say, take this job and shove it, I'm going to go be an actor. So it would represent him. It can, but to what you're saying, it can be him exiting an emotional block that prevents him from being an actor.
So if this fell in, like, say, the third position on a 4-card reading, the proposed action, it would be like, now's the time to make the change.
Now's the time to make the change. Take a risk. See what's out there. Cast your net widely. See what's out there. Mm-hmm. The eclipse represents change in a cycle, which may have emotional sentiment, but it's now offset in a strong sense of determination for the deeper essences of life and true fulfillment. So, like, you know what? This is a deadpan marriage. Oh my God, it's not working. I don't feel love in this marriage anymore. And as deeply enthralled in it as I am, I've got to make a change. I've got to be true to myself. Exit and departure. Connecting to the self at the soul level. This is a deep card. Deep, deep card. This card does not represent loss per se, but instead represents a change to realign with something greater and new. Seeking spiritual pursuits. So there's this whole thing about going on the mountaintop with this card too. So this can be like, you know what? I'm exiting the world and I'm going to go within and I'm going to really see. It's funny how we go heavy and then everything lightens up and then we go heavy again and then it lightens up and then goes heavy again. Material emotional disappointment has occurred, causes one to seek greater good, and that is truly fulfilling. The death of or transformation of or an ending of an unsatisfactory relationship. So this can very strongly mean divorce. This could also represent somebody that's out seeking and sniffing around in a relationship as well. It can represent the participation in or need for therapy to clear out the heart and mind to make room for new pursuits that bring true love, joy, and fulfillment to the heart and mind. So this is a good card to represent psychotherapy or the need for it, or that it would help. But when you reverse it, most likely this card in the reverse could represent what has been gained from it in the upright. So remember I told you there was a card that would do this? It's like, okay, now that you've done it, okay, now you're starting to enter into the new relationships, contacts, aid and helpful people have potential to enter the life of the questioner, enjoying the fruits of one's labor and bounty. The card of feasts, parties, and social connections and gatherings. This in the reverse form, believe it or not, where there's this exit from society, this exit from emotion, this exit from feeling and disconnection in the upright. Now we reverse it and this becomes the party animal card. It's the opposite of exit and departure. It represents that things have entered the scene that are worthy of connecting to and bringing great and new joy and fulfillment, possibility into the heart and even to the soul level. It's a card of enjoyment, empowerment, and peace of mind. And it's the card of beginning enjoyment, beginning empowerment, and the beginning of peace of mind. So in essence, you all, it's what's going on over here in this crevasse, this open area. Now, when I do that, do you see my cursor going around that open area? Okay. Because right now it's going all over your little faces. But underneath that is that open area. So that's the 8 of Cups. 9, look at that rosy cheeked little fella there. Well, is it a man or is it a woman? We really don't know. It's actually a man. He's a nice German guy with nice rosy cheeks and a big feather in his cap. What does it mean? Any ideas? Let's go with Victoria this time. I think Victoria might have some insights.
Yeah. Well, actually, I want to quote Judy. Actually, she pulled this in the first reading we ever did, and I just thought it was, I don't know, one of the best depictions of it. So she saw the cups in the background as stage lights shining on the incredible, right? Yeah. So it's somebody who's achieved something major. Their wish has been fulfilled, and it's their time in the spotlight, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So
Judy, I'm going to give you a gold star and 2 thumbs up and a snap and a circle for that interpretation. That is really good. Excellent. And that's very apropos for what we've got going on here. We've got yellow in attraction. We've got the golden cups. Look at this lovely color of blue with white coming through it. So there's light, purification, wisdom, understanding. It's divine source. He's got that dark blue curtain behind him. Faith, fortitude, wisdom, understanding. He's dressed in brown. He's grounded, centered. He's got those big cheeks. He's been eating everything in sight. He's living fat. He's living high on the hog. He's fulfilled. He's justified. He's red, passionate hat, red feather, excellent achievement. He's eating on the bounty of what he has created. 9.
Thick hair, right? Healthy, thick hair.
Yes, healthy, well, thicker than mine, that's for sure. He's living on the bounty of what he has created. 9 being the card of completion, conclusion, ending of cycle, and the beginning of the process of new cycle. Life, love, and the attainment and enjoyment of the fruits of life and one's labor. The 9 of Cups enjoys life to the absolute fullest. He basks in the goodness of life, having tasted all of the delicacies of life. This is the fat and sassy card. Balance and moderation are at play, which keep this card in a state of constant reiteration. It feeds itself and feeds itself and feeds itself. This is one hell of a good stock portfolio. Greatness in love, life, money, security, work pursuits are in a state of great positivity. Truly, things are just as one would have it and more. This is also excellence in health. This is a wish card. This is a really neat thing. And I don't do this as often as I used to when I first started reading, but this is a wish card. And one of the things that you can do is you can have the person put their right hand on the face of the card. So the card is running like this, okay? You have them put their hand on the face of the card. When they put their hand on the face of the card, their right hand, then they cover it with their left sideways. Have them close their eyes and make a wish and trust and believe that it will come true. A lot of times when I've done that, it's come true.
We should just do it just because with ourselves.
So why don't we all take a break and make a wish on our Nine of Cups? Question is, will it still work? Because it didn't just simultaneously fall in a reading. One of the best examples I have of that, guys, is I had a guy back in Ohio many years ago, and he had a desire to open a pizza parlor. He wanted to leave his job and open a pizza parlor, but he had all the ideas, but he had no space. I said, sir, you've drawn the Nine of Cups. That's a card of fulfillment. This dream is just dying to come true. So place your right hand on the face of the card, cover it with your left in the form of a cross, close your eyes, take a deep breath and make a wish, and trust and have faith that it will come true. He had the faith. He says, you know what? I feel like I'm going to find a space. And instantly, wham, I got this image. I said, sir, I'm getting a very strong draw to tell you to go 3 blocks to the east and 2 blocks to the north. And sure enough, 3 blocks to the east and 2 blocks to the north, right on the corner was this empty little space. He rented that space, and he was the most successful pizza parlor in the entire city of Hamilton, Ohio for years. Yep, that was one of the most profound come trues in doing that exercise. I actually went there one time and did a reading party. And every time I would have a new person go out and come in, there'd be this little face that would peer around the corner. And at the end of the party, the mother, the woman of the house, comes in and she says, I know you're tired, Terry, but my 3-year-old is dying to ask you a question. I said, sure, let him come in. Well, here comes that little face, that little skinny fella, and he jumps up on my lap, just as cute and cuddly as he could be. And he looks in my face, and he's got these big eyes. And he says, Mr. Psychic Man, did you know I like pickles? That was his burning question the whole day. I mean, every half hour, that little face was at the corner. He just died to know if I knew he liked pickles. So the wish card, it's a great practice to do that. The other thing that it does, guys, is that it gets your client reconnected and re-involved in the reading. So it can create more activity, more connection, more communication between you, and the energy will increase and will flow even more. Now, if there's another card that you feel that would work with to do that, I encourage it. Anything that you can do to get the client to re-uptake or to re-engage, go for it. Okay, now we have to reverse it. And it's disappointment, loss, perhaps self-imposed. Overindulgence, drunkenness, addictions to alcohol, drugs, money, gambling, sex, the pleasures of life, which may lead to loss, health, money, job, relationships, family, and position. There is a particular health issue that can often come in on this card reversed. Anybody have any idea what it involves or what it would be? Well, it could be lots of things with the overindulgence, drunkenness, addictions, etc. But specifically, gout.
Gout.
Inflammation between the joints. Uric acid, which is caused by overeating, overconsumption of purines. Loss of balance and obsession. This could also be, when we get into the energies of obsession, this could be the stalker card. I got to fulfill myself. I got to fulfill myself. I got to fulfill myself. You've got to love me. You have to love me. You must love me. Extreme opposite of that, wasted time, wasted money, and waste of what one has to offer. Gifts going to waste. Realignment is in desperate need to regain what is or has been lost. That is the 9 of Cups. I want to go one more. We're at 8 o'clock. It's 8:02. I'm going to go one more card and we'll finish after the 10. That way we've got all the numerics out of the way. 10 of Cups, another one of my favorite cards. Now, you all, this also could be, it's not noted on the notes, but this could also be a wish card. I used to do the 9 and the 10 both as wish cards. I'll go through this one quickly. It's pretty self-explanatory. Happy, joyous marriage and partnerships, relationships, good aspects, good pursuits, having arrived, attainment, and enjoyment. This is the relationship that is long lasting. I've met the one and it is the one. We both know it and we're together forever. Relationships that have come into play have potential to be lifelong, solid, and stable. It's satisfaction, the attainment and enjoyment of happiness and well-being. It's the happy family card, the happy relationship, marriage, and partnership card, excellence in financial standing, and excellence in health. Everything is in harmony. Everything is in balance. There's a strong, overwhelming sense of peace. I hear birds singing, literally and figuratively in the face of the card. In regard to the question being asked, it's a good omen and a very, very good and positive possibility. Reverse it. Everything I just said goes out the window, and it's the opposite. It's the reverse, most likely problematic or unfavorable situation, disappointment and unfulfilling relationships and unresolved emotions. Relationships lack depth. They're very surface. They lack depth. They lack permanence. They lack fulfillment. And there's a strong sense, overwhelming sense of dissatisfaction. It can be argumentative, grumpy circumstances where there's lack of communication, false hope, falsity, or lying going on. Relationships in general may dissolve over time after bringing forth distrust, resentment, or even defiance. Unhappiness could lead to addictive or overindulgent behaviors trying to fill the void. That's it. And we did that in 3 minutes. So, any questions, comments, or anything else that anybody needs to ask or put in here? Okay. Could I get a raise of hands of everyone who sent me a video? Victoria, you sent me one. Marilyn, you sent me one, and I've been working on it. Judy, didn't you send me something, honey?
I sent you one with Carmi a while ago, and then Victoria's going to send you the one. I read her on Sunday, and she just emailed me tonight. She's going to send it to you.
Okay. Did Carmi send me your video, or did you send me your video?
I believe I'm the one that sent it to. No, I don't think I did. I sent it to Carmi. I think she said she wanted to send it.
Okay.
I didn't think it was. I didn't send it because it was like the week of only one, and
Okay, well, now I know why. I've been driving myself nuts because it doesn't exist.
yeah.
I could have sworn that you did, and I swear to God, I've spent 2 days trying to find it.
Oh my God! Next time, just text me.
Yeah. Hey, that's inspirational. That would work, wouldn't it? Hello, Myron, you didn't send me one, honey?
I did not yet.
Okay.
I did some 6-card readings, but I haven't sent a video yet.
All right, because you're holding out for the very best, aren't you?
Trying to decide.
Okay,
Yeah.
honey, I know you're consumed, and it might be a while before you do one. That's absolutely fine, sweetheart. We're all pulling for you to get through that grant and get it and go for it, honey. So, and I'm going to actually light a candle for you, sweetheart, with your permission. I want to light a candle for the restoration of your health and ease
Oh,
on your
thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. So I get it, sweetheart. I have that inflammation issue too. So anyway. Okay. It's been lovely to see you all,
Okay.
and enjoy your evening, and I'll see
Thank
you next
you.
week.
Have a great
Okay.
week, everyone. See you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to
Bye,
see you all.
everybody.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Bye.